Hi, I'm Carlo. Today I'm gonna show you how to get your events for the day from your calendar into Obsidian. For each event there will be a new note, and each of those notes will be linked from your daily note. As you can see here, I've set up 3 events. Over here you see my Obsidian vault. It has a daily note for today and it has a folder meeting notes. And on the bottom you can see shortcuts, or rather the upper part of the shortcuts window. I will just start the workflow. What has happened here? As you can see, there are 3 new nodes correlating to the events in my calendar. Every calendar entry has an Obsidian link all of a sudden. When I click it, the related node is opened. In my daily node, you can see the 3 linked nodes. All of this happened with one workflow. If I run that workflow again, nothing will happen because the workflow is clever enough to check whether the node already exists. And if it does, it will back off. Now that you've seen what the workflow can do, I will explain it. So here's the workflow. I will quickly explain all the single steps, but as you can see, there is a lot of comments. If you're interested, please download the workflow and take a look for yourself. In my workflows, I usually set up the vault name as a variable because the vault name is used in several places. This is what's happening here. Next up, I create a calendar for all the events for today, which are in this particular calendar. As you can see, start date is today, calendar is calendar, right? Next up, we loop over the list of calendar events. Again, I set up a variable named event. I find it helps me to find the repeat item again, especially when I have bigger workflows that might have loops inside loops and I have repeat items which contain repeat items. Next, we're going to check whether the current event was already processed. We can tell by looking at the event description. When it contains the phrase Obsidian link, we know we've already touched that. Next up, we're going to compile the file name. We're using the start date, the actual date for today, as well as the event title. We need to make sure to sanitize the file name because Obsidian doesn't like slashes, backslashes, or colon characters in its file names. So we're filtering those out here. And finally, we concatenate the folder name, namely meeting notes, with our sanitized file name. And then again, we put it in a variable called full node file path. Next step is building the actual node body for the meeting node. Next up, we're going to create the node in Obsidian in our vault. To do that, we use the create node action from actions for Obsidian. As you can see here, we take the full node file path variable from further up. Also the vault name variable from further up, and we use the node body, which I just explained. Once that is done, we ask Obsidian to generate the Obsidian link to that particular node. Once we have the link, we can update the calendar event itself. And we do that by taking the event description or event nodes and appending the string Obsidian link and the actual node link here. Once that is done, we take that text block and set the nodes attribute of the calendar event to that particular text. And finally, we use the just created Obsidian node and link it from the daily node. As you can see, I kept it simple and I appended that to the daily node. I made sure that there's a new line at the end, and that's pretty much it. That's everything. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this super quick, super reduced rundown of one of my shortcut workflows. If you want to play around with it, you can find the link to the shortcut workflow in the video's description. If the video helped you in any kind, give it some love and see you around. Bye-bye.